Welcome to the Overlook Motel, a place where underseen and unappreciated films are given their moment in the spotlight. I'm pleased to be extolling the virtues of a suspenseful and horror-infused science fiction thriller from writer-director Michael Crichton on this installment of the Overlook Motel. More specifically, I'm speaking of the 1978 film Coma. This exciting offering is intense, delivers impressive performances from its core cast, and features a fiercely feminist turn from leading lady Geneviève Bujold. Coma follows Dr. Susan Wheeler, played by Bujold, a surgical resident at Boston Memorial Hospital. When she notices what she believes to be a disproportionate number of healthy patients slipping into comas following routine surgeries, the good doctor senses something isn't right and begins investigating the unexplained deaths. After some digging, Dr. Wheeler makes a series of horrifying discoveries that put her life in grave danger. Unsure who she can trust, Susan races to expose what she's learned before she becomes the next victim. Crichton demonstrates a true prowess for crafting tension with this 1978 effort. Via his screenplay, Crichton builds a palpable sense of paranoia, giving the viewer reason to suspect a number of different characters may be involved in the shady dealings at Boston Memorial, but keeping most of the details under wraps until it's absolutely necessary to pull back the curtain and provide answers. Crichton's screenplay and the Robin Cook novel upon which it is based challenge the idea that healthcare professionals always have our best interests in mind and imagine a world where patients are taken advantage of when they're at their most vulnerable. Going in for a surgical procedure puts someone in about as vulnerable a spot as a person can find themselves in, so the idea of someone exploiting that for nefarious gain is as unthinkable as it is terrifying. But that very premise makes for a very effective storyline that is used to maximum effect here. The path to the final reveal is twisty and unpredictable. By the denouement, the intensity is palpable. Crichton effectively utilizes jarring camera work, a sinister score, and rampant paranoia to pull the viewer into a dizzying narrative that grows more unnerving with each passing sequence. The cat-and-mouse dynamic that presents itself when Dr. Wheeler visits the Jefferson Institute where the coma patients are held is intense and nerve-shredding. Tense editing work makes the sequence with Susan attempting to outrun the Institute staff supremely unsettling. The action is further intensified by the sterile and wide-open spaces at the Institute that leave Dr. Wheeler nearly nowhere to hide from those that wish her harm. Aside from palpable tension and keen directorial oversight, the film also features a particularly strong cast. Geneviève Bujold is magnificent in her turn as Dr. Wheeler. Her portrayal of the surgical resident is dogged and fierce. She rightfully demands equality from her male counterparts and is quick to call out patriarchal hypocrisy rather than suffering in silence. In spite of her sometimes tough exterior, Bujold is careful to give the viewer the occasional glimpse of vulnerability, which serves to make the character even more dynamic. Additionally, showing her in that state serves to underscore the intensity of the extreme peril in which Dr. Wheeler finds herself. That combination makes her a protagonist that is easy to invest in. Michael Douglas is also effective as Susan's partner, Dr. Mark Bellows. Douglas turns in a believable and nuanced performance that sees him coming across as likable and potentially genuine. However, subtleties in his portrayal may give the viewer reason to question his intentions before all is eventually revealed. Coma was reimagined for television in 2012 with Lauren Ambrose in the lead role. Sadly, I found that iteration to be sluggishly paced and unable to rise to the level of its predecessors or the source material from which it was adapted. As of the publication of this post, Coma is available to stream on HBO Max and is also available as a digital rental or on physical media. If you are keen to chat more about underseen and unloved films, feel free to hit me up with your thoughts on Twitter @FunWithHorror. Thanks so much for checking in. That's all for this installment of the Overlook Motel. We'll see you next week.